One of the worst, though.
There were some stats, though, where the Giants did rank less than the Jets.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
yes.
Because we couldn't open up the field.
And
the guys that we have are not elusive. You look at Will Tye, he's a big guy. He couldn't get yards after the catch.
Look at Larry Donnell. He's even worse.
He
was awful.
Yeah, he was.
And there was that one year where he did okay, and then he just then he just couldn't get back to form. Yeah. I think it was because of that neck injury that he had. I understand that.
That could be a potential.
But you need to try and rebound from that and at least try and be productive, which he was not. And which made Jerry Reese get Rhett Ellison, which was huge because it's going to help Paul Perkins in the running game, probably help Eli Manning in the pass.
Yeah.
And now we have Evan Ingram, and I'm honestly not worried about it. I'm not jumping on the hype train just yet because every time I do that, I get disappointed because I expect them to go undefeated and they don't. So
you know what I got to say though about the Giants?
What?
Now, all right, don't rip me apart, Giant fans.
Let me hear some.
But I think they have a complete team. I do. I think it's very well rounded. They have a legit shot.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, I just have the feeling that Eli is just not what he used to be, and he's just not going to be able to get there. Like
Why?
I think just because I don't think he's just the same quarterback he was. I don't think he's as clutch. I don't think he can. I don't know. I think when it comes to playoff
year to tell you that.
What did I see? Well, here's the thing. When
because
is it a decline in age? Because I understand age, but look at Peyton Manning. His final year, he went to the Super Bowl.
Well, no, yeah, and then also just in the playoff game, he just didn't prove it to me. And I feel like if they don't have a promising O-line, what do they do? Draft Cam Robinson, whoever tonight? I just don't think. And that's just me. I don't think that Eli can do it.
I'm not going to kill you for that because a lot of Giants fans don't like Eli Manning, which I find to be really, really shocking. Because if you look
as a Jet fan, I can't fathom that.
No, because
I'd kill for Eli
Giants
Manning.
fans.
Exactly,
Giants
kill for any
fans.
good quarterback.
You remember Kerry Collins? You remember Kurt Warner? Who did Eli Manning learn under? Kurt Warner. I am pretty content with that.
No, he didn't. He learned under his father.
Well, yeah, that's true too. But on the Giants, Kurt Warner was the guy, and then at the end of 2004, Eli Manning got the shot. I understand what you're saying. Age, okay, that's fine. I can understand that. But if you want to talk about the playoff game, a lot of that, Eli Manning was throwing passes into guys' chests, and they were dropping it.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of that...
They should have took that Miami vacation.
I was just going to say that.
Everybody always alludes back to that.
I'm kidding.
I'm not going to kill you for that, but that's probably why Victor Cruz got injured. I don't know. But
that's why he got cut.
Well, yeah, cut. I mean, not injured.
He's not even on the
Excuse
team
me.
anymore.
No, I know. But I'm not going to kill you for that, but I don't know. I don't want to say Eli Manning can't do it, but I will make a bold prediction. If the Giants make the Super Bowl and win it, I think Eli Manning's got 2 years.
Wow.
You don't think he retires right after that?
No.
Retires on 3?
No. I think that
the chances of the Giants winning a Super Bowl are remote to say the least, but
I think that if they lose, or like if they don't do what they think they can do, especially with this receiving core and this defense, I'll give them 1.
So you think Eli is really nearing the end of his career? Like the Giants need to really start thinking about their future quarterback?
I think they do, and it really hurts me to say that because I grew up with Eli Manning. I've supported him through thick and thin, but he's not going to be there forever, and I've accepted that. But I think he has a Super Bowl run, if not 2, left still in
I'm glad you said that, Jacob, because I felt the same way, too. Like, this is close to an end of an era for him, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, even though his brother was able to outlast, the last couple years, but I just haven't seen that in Eli. At times, he will, struggle in the fourth, and just has that attitude about him that I don't like at times.
He also has an amazing
I mean?
body. I mean, the guy is ripped.
Yeah.
No, he's not. He
can work on his scrambling a little better.
Bod.
But he is built for New York. And why do I say that?
I just don't think he's a leader either. You don't really see him.
That's what I'm saying. Times he would just have that sour face.
Thing to say.
I don't know about that.
Right, he's a quiet
at least
leader.
not on the field. At
I don't
least
know how
not
you
on the
say
field.
that when he's won 2 Super Bowls.
Okay, but all right, maybe back then he was, but you don't see him on the field ever saying anything to anyone. Whenever he throws an interception, he's like yesterday, he just goes like this. He just raises his hand
That's
up,
not
rolls
his
his eyes.
style. That's
I
not
know,
his
but
style, though.
maybe in the locker room. I don't see what goes on in the locker
room.
room.
What Eli is doing is working. How did I end up in the position of defending Eli Manning?
Well, thank you for that.
Wait a second. How did that
actually,
work?
I'm glad you're on my side this time.
Wait, can you
am.
put it all on Eli when the past 2 or 3 years before this year they haven't really been doing well? I mean, it was the improvements they got all around the team.
No,
You
it was
brought
because
up-
Jerry Reese wouldn't do anything in free agency.
Thank you. And
it's
then
because Reese wasn't putting a team around. That wasn't Eli's fault.
I'm not saying it's Eli's fault, but I'm saying that the team they had 2 or 3 years ago wasn't good, and
So tell me how that's Eli's fault.
well, I don't know. I mean, it's just
You just
Yeah.
feel like he's not the player of Eli of old. That's what it basically comes down to. That's
Yeah,
what
I
you're trying to say?
but if you want
I don't think
to,
he'll win another
he's-
Super Bowl if that's
in-
what you're saying.
no.
in
I don't think
in
he will either.
I
regards
think
to
he has
fourth
one
quarter
more in him.
comebacks, there was another game that came to mind. Thursday night game against the Philadelphia Eagles was the last color rush game of the season. They're driving down the field. They're starting from their own 20. They're driving, and I think they're going to score. So Eli Manning throws a bomb to the right corner of the end, like just before they get in the end zone. And Will Tye's running his route. He stops and goes like this. He's holding his hands out in a basket catch, and the ball gets intercepted. I don't put that on Eli. I put that on the tight end right there.
Oh, yeah,
because
definitely.
Regardless, it was the end
a
of the
bad
game.
style to-
it
Yeah,
was
I
the end of
understand.
the game, but that was a game
But,
that they
yeah.
could have and should have won.
It's true because we were down in the beginning. 2 interceptions by Eli in the first half. I mean, that wasn't good to start off the game.
And I'm not one to like I'm not going to say like, oh, Eli Manning's a saint. He's not a saint. I'm like there were times where
No,
I
he's not.
can't.
He's a giant.
Well, yeah, there you go. He's big as giant, but I'm not going to call him a saint. Yep, got
A
it. Yep. I'm not going
I
to call
couldn't
him a
resist,
saint.
Eric. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'd rather have Eli Manning than Drew Brees anyway. But yeah, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. But
2 Super Bowls to 1. I can see why you'd say that.
I'm not going to call him a saint because he's not. He's not perfect, but every time where it mattered most, I feel like he came through. But that's just me because I watch him every week.
So let's broaden our football horizons. We spent 22 minutes. My goodness gracious, on New York football.
That's good.
I love it.
You got
I
to.
New
love
record?
it. But we have to broaden our football horizons, especially when it comes to this. The Niners trading the 2nd overall pick to the Bears for the 3rd,
Oh, man.
67th, and 111th overall pick, and their 3rd round pick in 2018. With the 2nd overall pick, the Bears selected Mitchell Trubisky. Who the hell saw that coming?
No
That
one.
shocked
I wouldn't
the
have
world.
picked him any higher than 25th overall. What do you guys think of
I
that?
think it's
Welcome.
outrageous.
Welcome to the new face of the Chicago Bears, Mitch Trubisky.
Get John Goodman in here right now.
He
That
is
was
Mr.
such-
Ohio,
I'm just
though.
shocked, honestly. Also, I'm not too convinced on Trubisky. I mean, he only played 1 year at UNC.
That's true.
13
Yeah, but-
games. But at the same time, that's why, Watson should feel a little bit disrespected. He played 4 years, senior. His last year proved that he had it all.
Beat
Won
Alabama.
Clemson the championship. How is Clemson? I mean, how was Watson not the first quarterback taken?
Okay,
He
so
wasn't even
let's-
the 2nd quarterback take.
Yeah, that's what
Exactly.
it kind of shook me. But this is what I see from Chicago. They just signed Mike Glennon, but it's really a 1-year deal. If you really
It's
think
3
about
years,
it.
45
It's
mil.
3
That's-
years, but it's a 1 year and
On
a second
paper-
player
on
option.
paper, it's 3 years, but they can't get out of it after 1.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So obviously they're not too sold on him.
That's
And
true.
plus, he was a backup to Jameis Winston. Let's be honest. He never really had a starting career.
I mean,
So
he did before they drafted him, but then they lost faith. But so yeah.
So you take a guy like Trubisky who can learn. He has definitely the arm talent, the pocket, presence. I think it's just times when big games, like in a bowl game, he played bad
But
against
I
them.
will admit, the Bears might be doing the right thing. But even though they drafted him really high and he should be starting right away,
I
I
was
think
just
they
about to
are
say
doing
that.
the right thing. That you let him sit for a year, let him develop
what
and
I'm-
learn.
that's what I'm
even though it's
thinking.
going to be behind Mike Glennon,
This-
which really isn't the best option.
That's what
But
I-
This
That's what I was
kind of
trying to say.
reminds me of the Rams with Jared Goff. I mean, he was the 1st overall pick, and you still have Case Keenum starting. Well, not anymore, but now Jared Goff's getting the chance after.
that's a good
Well,
point.
I'll tell you something. Trubisky needs a lot of time to marinate
Absolutely.
and get to his full potential because Trubisky does have a lot of potential. There's a lot to like there. The issue is if something happens to Mike Glennon, it's the Trubisky show.
It's true.
And
Do you put all your faith in him?
oh man, that's.
I
gonna
mean,
be rough.
I guess for drafting him second overall, that's what they're saying.
That's
I
their
have to have
future right
faith.
there. It has
That's
to be
my
their
issue.
future.
That's my issue. No chance in hell should he be the 2nd overall pick. He shouldn't even be the 20th overall pick. I mean, I understand the need to get a quarterback of the future. Believe me, quarterback is the most important position in all of sports.
It is.
You can't win without a good one. But trading this much, a first and 2/3 to move up one spot to pick this guy?
Yeah,
Also, you weren't
honestly.
even sure
Ridiculous.
if the 49ers were going to take him.
That's the thing.
That's like there was a
I'm going to play
chance.
devil's advocate there and say that John Lynch sold to Ryan Pace. We're going to trade the second overall pick to another team that's going to take Trubisky.
Yeah, no.
So that could have
Oh,
happened.
so bait.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, the issue is John Lynch might have been lying to Ryan Pace. I will say John Lynch had an incredible draft.
I think other than the Browns, the 49ers are second for the first round grade.
I don't have the class in front of me, but that sounds right.
No, because you had all right. So the Browns got Myles Garrett, then Jabril Peppers, and David Njoku. That's 3 first-round picks. All could be really good in a couple of years, or even now. Then you have the 49ers. They picked Solomon Thomas and a guy they were going to take. They were thinking about taking at number 2 or 3, Reuben Foster. They got him at 31.
That's just
I'm even
ridiculous.
surprised
He's a
he
great
fell that far.
linebacker.
I knew he was gonna
It's
slide,
just
too.
injury problems.
But-
That's all it was.
Yeah, but
that's why
at
he,
the same-
drug
he
test.
slits.
That's the issues
that,
with drug test.
Okay, that too.
Got a lot of
But for the fact for
character
them, they were very high on Reuben, or should I say Reuben Foster, as
concerns. Yeah, that was
Roger Goodell said.
That was
but
funny. The NFL draft, the coverage of it was horrible. Trey Wingo did a horrible job. He messed me up. I
Yeah.
texted you guys
Sasquatch.
Chewbacca. It was Sasquatch. Trey Wingo, you messed me up. You made me look like an idiot.
Trey Wingo is funny though. I
And
like
Roger
him.
Goodell is just—he's so bad.
I like Mel
He's
Kiper.
so bad. Love Kuiper.
I like Gruden,
Love
and
Gruden.
I do
is
like
a
Riddick.
great
So
guy.
Louis Riddick did not do good though.
no, but
do
just in
like
general,
him,
I
though.
like him. So
I
I'll
do
give him,
like
I'll give him a slide.
But they covered him. ESPN is being run into the ground by this idiot, John Skipper. He is an absolute idiot. Did you see all the guys he fired?
Yeah,
These
that
are
was
great
so
people.
stupid.
Well, this
yeah,
one's a
that's,
mile
that's not,
long.
That's
These
not
are
right.
excellent people that are being fired. Ed Werder, Jason Stark, Carl Ravitch is being cut.
That was crazy.
What in the world is going on? And you're going to put Michael Smith and Jamel Hill on the forefront. Why? Just because they're black? Just because they're black, they get a good time slot. It's ESPN. It's a sports network. Instead, they're talking about what their 20th favorite vegetable is. Who the hell cares? Give me sports news.
You know what's crazy too? As popular as he is, I can't believe if they fired that many people. How the hell? Oh, excuse me.
You can say it,
Oh, I
John.
can. Okay, good. But
I've
how
said it.
how did
I've said
Stephen A. Smith keep his job? Like,
Because he's black. I'm telling you, that's not racist. That's just true. It's just true. John Skipper is the biggest bleeding heart liberal I've ever met in my life. This is affirmative action on steroids. It's like we have to reach our minority quota. And believe
Politics.
me, this is nothing.
Politics.
That's
man.
all
You
it
gotta
is.
Remember that.
This is nothing racially motivated, but Stephen A. Smith is horrible. Michael Smith and Jamel Hill on SportsCenter is ridiculous. John Skipper should be ashamed of himself. He's run ESPN into the ground. He gave the NBA $1.4 billion. Do you know how much he gave the NFL?
No, how much?
1.9. You're telling me that there's a $500,000 difference between the NFL and the NBA? There's so much less. It's at least $1 million. That's why he was cut, is because he's mismanaged the money so much. I mean, these are great people that are going. It is sickening to see.
well, other networks are just going to get better now. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
That's
Fox
what
Sports
it
1
is.
just got a lot better. They just got a lot better. You're listening to Beyond the Game on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I am Jacob Valk. Sitting across from me, Brandon Johnson, Dominic Arbolino, and Eric Fischetti. Number to call if you want to talk sports is 516-572-7440.
You're gonna need a drink of water, Jacob. After that.
Oh, yeah, you're sweating. Your veins
Somebody
are
give him some
popping out.
water,
I
please.
go 100 miles an hour a minute. I'm good.
All
I'm
right,
good.
all right, let's
I'm
do
gonna
it.
keep going. You know what? I have a drink here. I'm not going to take another drink for the rest of the show. The Bills.
Let's see how that
Please don't
works
die
out.
on us.
Nice knowing you.
Yeah. Keep your voice.
Let's see if I can do it. Why not? The Bills traded the 10th overall pick to the Chiefs for the 27th and 91st overall pick and their first-round pick in 2018. With the 10th overall pick, the Chiefs selected Patrick Mahomes II out of Texas Tech. Personally, I had a second-round grade on him. What are your thoughts on
You
that?
know what?
I
Let me
love
just
the move.
let me just comment on this because look who the coach is for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Andy Reid.
Andy Reid, and he was the one guy that was with Brett Favre during the Packers era, and he loved gunslingers. You know what I'm saying? So I think for him, it was essential need for them. I mean, because Alex Smith is their quarterback. They say they trust in him. That's their quarterback. But I feel like this guy right here, if he needs a little brush